Now I live in a house that my father would have bragged about cleaning. And my childhood imaginations were, what would the art look like in that house if somebody like me owned it? What would the core of the house look like if somebody like me owned it? And you'll be happy to know that half of my house is filled up with art from Kenya. I have every piece of art that you have ever given me, or that I have ever bought, or that I have ever had access to online, to those few businesses who advertise online. Listen up. There is huge demand for what you have around the world. Get out of the box. Get out of your shell. Don't devalue, because what you call normal, we call amazing. I get more hits when I post music from the services that I do over here. When I put them on social media, I get more hits from America than I do when we play our own music. The problem with greatness, when you have greatness to you might escape your mind because your greatness is also in your normal. Things that you step over, things that you overlook, things that you take for granted, things that might not be valuable to you because you are inundated and saturated with them, are valuable to other people around the world. I was just talking to a gentleman the other day who said he exports artwork from this country and then resells it in other countries at 3 times and 4 times the price that you sell it for retail over here. We all have to think differently. There's a book out that I highly want to recommend that you read. The book is called The World is Flat. Technology has flattened the world. There are no barriers. There are no restrictions. There are no limitations. You can go as far as you want to go if you know how to work it right. You got to start thinking differently. Your marketplace may not just be your neighborhood. It may be your world. The reason I'm standing on this stage today is because our world is much smaller. We are interconnected. We are interdependent. And that's why we need each other in order to succeed. I wrote the book of which this conference is titled after, and the book is called SOAR. And the book is based on the idea that the Wright brothers stood on the ground, looked up in the air, and had a ridiculous thought. They said, we should fly. Can you imagine selling that idea at that time? It was ludicrous. And besides, they had no degree in engineering. They had no background in engineering. They had no previous experience in building anything like an airplane. They were bicyclists. They built bicycles. And the first airplane was built in a bicycle shop. You cannot use what you do not have to limit where you are trying to go. You have to take what you've got and take it and use it until you get what you want. The very first airplane was made not in an airplane hangar, not with the proper tools, not with the proper education. They lacked the resources. They had to fight for money. They succeeded where others had failed. And then they finally got the plane built. And when they built the plane and they all got it ready to fly, they had to move it all the way from, I believe it was Dayton, Ohio, to North Carolina to a place called Kitty Hawk. And they moved it all the way down there before they tried to fly it, because they understood that in order for the plane to fly, it had to be in the right wind. They moved it because the wind was right. I came all the way from Dallas, Texas, to tell you in Kenya, the wind is right for your dream. The wind is right. What does that mean? It means that in order to be successful, you have to do the right thing at the right time in the right atmosphere. And that's why there has to be a collaborative effort to get the right atmosphere for you to be successful. Praying about it is good. Talking about it is good. Having a business plan is critical. But there has to be more than that. There has to be a conscious effort by all the elected officials to work diligently to bring opportunities into this country that create a win for you to succeed and to be successful, so that the education that you have and the opportunities that you seek would be supplemented by the right atmosphere that makes it conducive for you to go after what you're trying to accomplish.